Ram Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama Jai Ram Jai Rama Jai Jai तब हनुमंत नाई पदमाता काहे कहे सकल रघुपति गुण गाथा. Then Hanuman, he bowed his head at Bharat's feet. तब हनुमंत नाई पदमाता. Nai pad means at the head. His bow his head at the feet of Bharat. He looks upon Bharat as even Prabhu Shri Ram himself. Look at the respect of Hanuman. Hanuman is one of the greatest devotees of Prabhu Shri Ram. But his humility is overbounding. It is beyond our thinking. Hanuman never takes credit for anything that he has done. When he went to Lanka and he entered the precincts of Ravan, he burned Lanka and did all these things and got rid of the demons and so on. Sri Ram asked him, he said, Hanuman, tell me, how did you get over that fortress that was heavily fortified? How did you get into that fortress of Rama? He says, my Lord, it was all because of your grace, all because of your doing. I was only an instrument in your hand. You afforded me the power to do that. He never took credit for anything that he has done. The credit was always Prabhu Shri Ram. Whatever he is about to do, Jai Shri Ram, he never did anything without calling that name. And the moment he calls the name Jai Shri Ram, he is fortified with a ton of energy, beyond anything that you can think about. So he says, Taba Hanumanta Nai Padamata, he bows at Bharat's feet and told him, Kahe Sakara Rakupati Gunagata. He says that he tells him all the great things that Sri Ram had done, all the great things that he had done. Rama here asks, tell me about the activities, the charit of Sri Ram. And now he told him everything. So he says here, Kahu kapikava hukripala gosai sumirari mohi dasa kinai. He says, tell me Hanuman, he said Bharat is asking, tell me Hanuman, he says, does this gracious Lord Sri Ram ever think of me or remember me as his servant? He didn't say, Hanuman, does he ever think of me as a little brother? He didn't say that. What did he say? He said, tell me, Hanuman, has he ever thought of me as a servant? Look where he puts himself. Bharat is one of the greatest and most towering personalities in Sri Ram's life. But look at his humility. He didn't say brother. He said, Hanuman, has my brother, has Sri Ram, my God, has he ever thought of me as a servant? And in this beautiful chapter, Tulsidas says, I have the children to do what they complete. Suni Bharat bachana binita ati kabi pulaki dana charananya. He's saying, he's asking again. He says, Sri Hanuman has a jewel of the house of Raghu, Raghu Kulanayak. Has that jewel of the house of Raghu been Sri Ram? Has he ever remembered me as his servant? He's asking again. On hearing Bharat's very humble speech, that is Hanuman, hearing this, the love with which it came from the mouth, from the lips of Bharat, he knew that it's so submissive. He's given all in humility. Hanuman is recognizing the truth and the sincerity and the purity of the heart of Bharat. On hearing Bharat's very humble speech, Hanuman was in rapture. And Hanuman fell at the feet of Bharat. Why was that? He was overcome by the purity, by the simplicity, by the honesty of Bharat. Hanuman fell at the feet of Bharat. And he said to himself, he's telling Bharat, he says, how Raghubir Nija Mukhajasu Gunagana Kahata Aga Jagannatha Jo Kahena Hoi Binita Param Punit Sadaguna Sindhusu. He's saying, Bharat, how can it be otherwise? How can he be otherwise than humble? He's saying that about Bharat. Hanuman is saying, from what he's displaying, from his attitude, he's saying to himself, how can Bharat be otherwise than humble and dignified, honorable? He couldn't be anything else but that. Simplicity, humility, incarnate. And he said, he's saying to himself that Sri Ram always talks about Bharat. He says, how can he be otherwise than humble? Because Sri Ram himself is saying he is the holiest of the holy and an ocean of perfections whose virtues Raghunath, meaning Lord Ram, Lord of all creation, recites with his own lips. He's saying, how can he be otherwise, Bharat? Because Sri Ram himself, with his own gracious lips, his own lotus-like lips, he continues to narrate of your greatness, of your humility, of your honor, of your decency. Sri Ram himself. And if Sri Ram says or narrates about his simplicity and his purity, then that is it. It could be no other way. Because God is the indweller of all hearts. He's Antarjami. He's the indweller of all hearts. So he knows what you're thinking. He knows what you're about to think, what you will think, or what you have thought about. He knows all that. So Sri Ram knows Ananes 2 to 11.